Hello, I hope you're doing well. And so I just wanted to address in this video how in a very interim fashion XPunch can be set up for a group that consistently uses the same tasks for each new project. So as you no doubt know, XPunch has a strict one-to-many relationship between clients and projects and between projects and tasks, which means each task behind it has a unique ID that associates it directly to its parent project. And so this can be a bit problematic in some situations where a group consistently is using the same task names for each project. You end up with a list of tasks of, say, I don't know, meeting. If you have 80 projects, you would conceivably have a list of 80 meeting tasks, which aesthetically doesn't look very good. And so we are going to come up with a solution for that. How that would be implemented. That's not set in stone yet. Um, in the meantime, and it's not maybe not the most elegant way of doing things, I have created a macro that will automatically create the same tasks each time for a project. So the macro that I use is macro scheduler. I like this one because it does visual recognition. So instead of saying, do a left click at X and Y coordinate, blindly just click there no matter what's there, this thing can actually see a button or see a piece of text and click on it, above it, below it, to the left of it, and so on. This company, if we go into the help, you'll be able to find out who they are. So if you just go to www.macroscheduler.com, you'll be able to get the macro from them. So that's my own preferred one that I use. And so is what I have are three separate windows that are open. I have the scheduler that I just showed you open. Sorry, I have the macro open. I have an Excel sheet with two columns in it. I've got my tasks in column A and the codes that go with that in column B. For ML Cloud, there's no code except for whenever somebody's putting in notes for things like mileage or parking, because those things don't really involve time, they involve money. And the second thing that I have open, actually, I guess it's the third thing I have open, is the XPunch window. So I'm going to run the macro, and what it's going to do is it's going to create um, a, a bogus project. So it's a time date stamp, so it's unique that way. And then it's going to create a bunch of tasks from that Excel sheet and each time it's going to associate the task to that project. And then I could run the macro all over again. It's going to create a new project with a new timestamp. And then again, it's going to associate those tasks to that project. And what you could do is you could run that, like, say, I don't know, run the macro like 30 times or something, and it'll create 30 projects with these time date stamp names. And then the secretary, when she needs to come along and create a new ML Cloud file project, the secretary can just rename one of those projects. It takes 1 second to do, and bang, all of those tasks, they follow through, and of course they remain associated with the project regardless of what its name is. And that will be set up that way. So it's sort of a workaround. It's an easy workaround so that no human is having to enter all of those tasks. So just to show you this in operation, let's run it here. So if I just open the macro, and what have I got here? Copy Excel tasks to XPunch. So if I just run that, and this code, it generates using these things over here. It pretty much generates its own code for you. So you can see pictures of the buttons that it's clicking on and stuff like that. So if I just run this and let it do its thing, there it is, created a project. Now it's going to go over and create a bunch of tasks. And it's copying over a task, no code. It's associating it with the project and it hits enter. So there we have, you can see in the background there, it's created the first task that's associated with that project. Here's the second one, conference. And we've got conference post deposition about to go. And so on and so forth. I won't bore you with all 40 tasks, but you can see it's pretty fast. If you just leave it running in the background, it'll copy out all of those tasks pretty fast. So that's just a sort of a workaround that I found that could work for you guys in the interim until we have something that will allow you to easily associate many tasks to each project. The two ideas that we have so far is our idea number one would be to have the concept of, say, a toggle switch on a task that says global task. And that would mean, hey, this task can be used for any project. The other idea would be to have, when you create a project, there would be an option at the time of project creation to say, hey, go and copy all of the tasks that are in this here other project. So those are the two ways that we can think of so far, but we're going to keep thinking about that to see if there's a better way, and then eventually we'll implement that. So I've stopped the macro prematurely here. We're down to F. And we can see that all of these tasks are indeed associated with this temp project. And so if I just go and rename that to a project, an ML Cloud project name, year, month, and a serial number like that, like that. If I just update that, we've updated the project and we'll see that all of those tasks have been updated. So if we want to do a punch for that, we could come in and do an advanced search for a client, sorry, a project. Here's John, and here's all of our possible activities or tasks that we could do for this particular project. So let's say we're downloading email. There we go. We've got our task, and then we could punch out. All right, so hopefully that gives you some ideas on how you could temporarily, by interim, create a bunch of tasks easily for one project.